So, what is sovereignty? What does that mean to you? Would you reflect on that statement for a moment? What does it mean to be a sovereign entity? Now, I'm not talking about conspiracy theories. I'm not talking about, these one world laws that people are trying to enact in court systems and getting themselves in trouble, or thinking that their driver's license doesn't mean anything because they're a sovereign entity and whatnot. Forget about all that. What is the higher meaning of sovereign? What does it mean to be free? A sovereign, or in this case sovereign entity, is someone who does not live their life by anyone else's rules but their own. What it actually means to take back your life. Now, if we think about and we react upon and we do what it is that makes us happy, rather than allowing ourselves to be controlled by someone else or something else, whether existential or internal. But how it is that you do and react within your own life, what decisions you make, and what path you ultimately follow, is that an influence by anyone else? Is that governed by something else? Or is that entirely and completely of your own free will? And what is free will? Let's look at the definition of free will. Will, to will, is what you desire, what you bring about on this earth and materialize through your thoughts, forms, and actions. Now, just thinking, let's say in my case, I'm quitting smoking. I started when I was 14. I've tried quitting smoking for many years. And longest I made it was a couple of months. I am on day number 3 now, going cold turkey, and I'm actually doing just fine. Not as bad as I thought I was going to be. And the reason why, and I attribute this to my mindset, my state of mind, how I set my mind. I have thought, I have acted upon, and I have willed into existence the personification and materialization of myself as a non-smoker. I have changed my mindset in regards to how I look upon people who smoke and also the act of. Since I have decided and I have willed into existence my sovereignty, my own free will, I have chosen not to be a slave to anyone or anything. And as of that mindset of a free person that I choose to look upon addiction as an act of slavery. If you think about it, anybody else who smokes out there, you should pretty much understand what that means to you too. Every hour, every couple of hours, you are a slave to your addiction, to your habit. So they call nuns what they wear as a habit, right? Their habit is God. Our habit is smoking, or was for me. Now I've break the chains and I've broken the cycle, and I am free to go about being sovereign. But for all of us out there who were smokers or are smokers now, 1 or 2 hours a day you have committed yourself into an act of slavery that not only governs what it is that you do, but also how you think, because you're constantly thinking about smoking. If you can't smoke, you're thinking about where you can or when you can, and your actions of smoking and also the guilt that is associated with. Some of you enjoy it. That's fine. I guess it all is a matter of mindset. If you enjoy smoking and you enjoy that part of you that is addicted to it, and you don't mind the consequences of it, nor do you mind how it affects other people in your life. For one, they got to smell you. And man, do you guys smell bad now. I wasn't able to smell it before, but whoo, I don't even know how I was able to walk around like that. I mean, I work in a job that requires me to be around people all the time. And in some cases, I find people like choking and dying from how bad I smell, and I just feel so guilty for it. So I don't know how it is that you guys can even smell like, yourselves, or even, recognize how bad it is that you smell to other people. It takes an ex-smoker to really kind of realize just how bad this really is. And again, I'm getting off track again. Not talking about that, but in essence, it is being free from addictions, being free from thought forms, actions, or influences that are not of your own. In this case, it's the nicotine telling you to do what it is that you do, not you. Because I guarantee you that every time you pick up a cigarette and you light it up, you say, oh, I'm going to quit, I'm going to stop smoking. But in the back of your head, you're thinking, when am I going to have my next cigarette? Same thing with alcoholics, drug addicts. When are they going to get their next fixed? When is the next bottle going to be given to me? Or what do I need to steal in order to get it? It's an addiction. You are now a slave to that. Now I can even go so far as to say our phones, our media, our television screens. We are slaves to those. We are slaves to sugar. We are slaves to chemicals. We are slaves to the fluoride in our water. We are slaves to the news, to politics, to religion. We are slaves to anything within this matrix that tells us to do or be or say something that is not of our own. What would Jesus do should not even be a saying. It should be, what would you do? How would you act? How would you act, be, think if your Creator was standing right next to you 24 hours a day? How would your life be like? Would you be a slave to the addictions? Would you be a slave to those around you? Or would you yourself want to try to be that creator yourself? Because in essence, we are all creators. We are all gods. We are all sovereign, if you will it to be.